There are over 2 million caregivers in Florida, and most Florida residents age 45 and over have either been a caregiver or anticipate being one. Monica Stenchula and Jeff Johnson join me today to discuss an upcoming conference to help caregivers navigate through their everyday challenges. Good to see you both again. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us back.
So let's talk about this caregivers again, because this is such a huge issue that's not going away anytime soon. These numbers are from learning, certainly from you guys, they're growing. Talk about caregivers and kind of the state we're in Florida and really across the nation.
Caregivers here in Florida, the typical profile of a caregiver is a female. That's 65% of caregivers are female. And they're over the age of 55. Many are still employed, but 23% of them aren't employed. They had to leave work to be able to caregive full time. Those that are in the labor market are really running 2 jobs full time, because an average caregiver does 78 hours of care every week.
Wow.
That's a lot of extra time.
And we were chatting before, and it's like sometimes people don't even consider themselves a caregiver. That's kind of what's interesting about this.
Oh, that's right. I talk to people all the time who you say, hey, we have this great program for caregivers. We have this conference where you can learn about resources that are available to you. And they say, well, I'm not a caregiver. Well, what do? I do this and this and this for my dad or for my spouse or whomever. And they just think of themselves as a family member. They don't think of that as a thing, as caregiving. And so one of the things that's been great about the Caregiver Accelerator and the Caregiver Conference is it gives people who are otherwise just running themselves ragged because they feel like they're the only ones who are doing this, a chance to realize there are other people out there and there are actually some ideas of ways that can help you.
And before we get into the conference, explain what this program is, this Caregiver Accelerator. It's an interesting kind of term for it. What is it?
Well, what we've found working with caregivers over time is that once you've been a caregiver, you want to make that journey better for the next people that are going to be caregivers. So we've all come up with different workarounds, different ideas that can actually be turned into companies that can serve the community. Because the reality is very few of us are going to qualify for government assistance programs that are provided, you know, through the Elder Affairs or through the National Older Americans Act. So they need to find resources within the community that they can help them with the caregiving. And so what we've done is we've taken those people that have ideas or young companies that can be used in caregiving, taught them business skills. We use a set curriculum to teach them business skills, and then we teach them a lot about AARP and what the market opportunities are. Okay. And with those companies, then we have a pitch competition to find out which is the best one, which one we think will get the most market traction within the next year.
Because there's such a need for this. There's a need for this conference too. Let's talk about this. I want to make sure we get the details out. What different types of resources, what's going to be there, you know, to help caregivers?
Well, the first day is the pitch competition. So back to what we were saying about the Caregiver Accelerator, we have 6 finalists in the pitch competition. They deal with medication management, caregiver well-being. It's an artist who put a book together for them, care management, a book to consolidate all of your resources that you need, a caregiver training program, and there's 2 others there that I'm off the top of my head, sorry. But what we do with those 6 will stand up and they'll give a pitch, and that's what the first day of the conference is, so that everyone in the public can see them, either watch it online or be there live at the Jewish Community Center right here in Tampa, and they can come in and see these new companies and what we're looking at for our community. Absolutely, absolutely.
And then other resources at the conference. Talk about what else people can gather.
That second day, we've got a lineup of speakers, experts from around the country who are coming in to talk about some of the different dimensions and challenges that caregivers deal with. One thing that's really wonderful that I think Monica's done a great job of setting up is the opportunity for people to bring in the person that they take care of, and we'll actually have respite care so that you can focus on the conference. Because one of the things when she mentioned caregivers giving 78 hours a week of care is just having some time alone to think for a minute or two can be a real challenge. So this conference offers that opportunity as well, which we think is really valuable.
Well, as we kind of wrap up here, what are your thoughts as we kind of close? If there's someone watching that finds themselves in this situation where they can feel alone, they can feel, you know, a little hopeless, like how am I going to handle all this? What say you?
Come join us.
Yeah.
Come join us.
Absolutely. I think this is your opportunity to feel like you're not alone, to get connected to other people who are going through the same things, to learn from them, and also to be able to teach others what you've learned.
Well, I love that you're doing the conference. I love that this is what you do all year long. So thank you so much for being on the show today. We'll make sure and put all the details right there and then on our website as well.
Thank you.